Okay, everybody, here we go. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? Did you see Sue today? I bet you did. Anyway, look, man. Here I am with all of you. Yeah, and I'm happy to be here. Post market wrap up Friday, October 18th, 2024. Look, we have a lot of stuff to cover today. No surprise to anybody. Well, not anybody, some. But nobody that follows this blog, man. Another record high today for the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Another record high for the S&P 500 with the Nasdaq again not far behind. People, I'm going to tell you again. Tech. Yeah, tech. Tech is where you need to be putting your cash to work right now in the stock market, okay? And we're just going to continue to do what we've been doing. People, look, man, we're not right all the time, you and me, all right? But how many people out here on this thing, YouTube, were calling for crash after crash after crash this month? This was it. This was the month. Everyone was certain of it. What did you and I do? We took the opposite side of that trade and nailed it to the freaking wall. Okay. Period. The end. And I know the month is not over, but there's no way to stop this right now. Understanding the mechanism behind this, it's not going to stop until it does. And again, I don't have a copy of the MMRI. The MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, free to everybody. Link in the description of this video, has been dead on. The trend is lower for the MMRI. The Fed's buying it all. We can see what's going on here. And you know what? The title of this video, Gold is an unstoppable force. I'm going to tell you what else or who else is an unstoppable force. You and me. Stay out of our way, man. Or join the pride. I mean, there's no other way to put this. Am I right here? Anyway, look, we're going to talk about gold here being an unstoppable force. Today was obviously silver. I mean, 6.5% to the people. Look, man. Eventually, first of all, you guys hearing me okay? This doesn't seem to be working too well. I hope you can hear me all right. Eventually, all of it is going to become very, very, very real. Never before, thank you, never before in the history of the financial system, the financial markets, or anything else have we seen what we are witnessing today. It's gone far beyond the sun. Shout out to Ingve Malmsteen and anywhere else you want to look here. Nobody, not even me, okay, and maybe some of you, I don't know. I'm definitely not the smartest guy in the room here. All of you are smarter than me, but nobody would have imagined that we would see what we're seeing now, that central banks would be as crafty as they have been, especially with puppet leaders pulling this much debt into the system, never pointing at, and again, think of how distorted this is. Not a single world leader, not one, is pointing their fingers at either the Federal Reserve in this case or any other central bank. It's this fault. It's that fault. It's supply chains disruptions. It's whatever they got to come up with to keep you distracted and not understanding that inflation is a monetary policy issue, period, underlined, the end. All right, but they're going to tell you it's so-and-so's fault, or it's this fault. Presidents who don't have printing presses and no ability whatsoever to devalue the currency. But you can't know that because the Fed in this case, and I guess central banks around the world, they're on the side of angels. Oh, you know they are, because no one's blaming them for a damn thing. We do have puppets here in the United States, both selling you the Fed's plan. Oh, yeah, we need lower rates. Means we need a weaker currency. That's how stupid they think you are. They think you're an imbecile of the highest order. Me, on the other hand, I know you're not. Anyway, look, market going higher was a no-brainer here. And everyone calling for a crash simply was probably looking for clicks or whatever it might be. I have no freaking idea. Or maybe they really believed it. I don't know what to say. There's no way this is stopping prior to the selection on November 5th. It's not happening here. After that, the day after that, we're going to have to, if the day of, man, let's see what happens to futures. It's going to be very interesting. It's Tuesday, right? November 5th. Watch the futures market. Let's see what, futures don't really dictate too much here. These are guys out there trading in their freaking pajamas overnight. Thank you, Jeffrey. I appreciate it. Silver is the soldier, isn't it? You are so right. So whatever the futures market might do, look at it and maybe laugh at it. Don't even worry about it. I already told you this morning with regard to however this is going to play out. And I really look, although, let me just say this again. From what I understand, there's an article on Zero Hedge saying that the market wants a Kamala presidency, which has got to be honestly the most laughable thing I've heard probably in a very, very long time. If this is true, I don't know what the heck they're even talking about. There's no way. This market wants Trump. I mean, anyone who can't see that really has got something going on here that's not working here. Trump is massively positive for crypto, man. I mean, Kamala, she's the crypto queen, but Trump is actually doing something about it. He created a business to streamline cryptocurrency to make it easily tradable around the world. He has his own crypto now, a new crypto token. Come on. He's already told you that crypto is the future. He's already told you, Trump, that he's going to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world. Are you seeing Bitcoin today, 68,000? You think that's because Bitcoin is pricing in a Kamala presidency? You got to be really stupid to believe that. All right. And with regard to this market, nothing would make it happier than zero or negative rates, which is what Trump was calling for during his last tenure. Sure, it's economically destructive, but again, the market's designed for the 1% and 2%ers, and you and I are mimicking that. You understand? That's why we can't be beaten here. So the market, anyone who believes it's pricing in a Kamala presidency is off their medication to a large degree. Anyway, look. Let me show you something else here that's going on. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about, and again, I'm going to get to gold, as most of you know. And I want to see where this. You see this poll here? I want you guys and girls to participate in this. Looks like we got about almost 400 votes here right now. Anyway, look, these are all from today. So U.S. equity funds, stock market funds are drawing big inflows on these earnings from the banks. Let me tell you something about these earnings from the bank. They're not real. None of it is. No loans. No deposits, no deals. You remember that from almost 2 years now? This is the truth. This is a nightmare waiting to happen. What's really driving inflows has nothing to do with bank earnings, although they've been higher and it's all fake anyway. It's rate cut hopes. It's maybe even negative. If Trump gets in, we'll see. And I don't really know. And I'll be honest with you. Look at me, man. I don't give a damn. I really don't care, because it's not going to change anything from a financial standpoint. You could say this and you could say that, and you could say the economy's coming down because of illegals, which is, I guess, is a worldwide phenomenon, because the whole world economy is cratering at its fastest pace we've ever seen. So it must be illegals all over the entire world that's causing the economy to crater. If you believe that lie, then I guess you can be convinced of anything. Anyway, rate cut hopes is what's driving the market. Easy money promises, currency devaluation, duh. Now, let us move forward here. So this is Market Watch. Gold may not reach a price ceiling anytime soon, meaning they're expecting it to go much higher. Now, what I wrote here, my little chicken scratch, central banks, look, man, don't take my word for any freaking thing, all right? So, but I'm going to tell you to do your own research on this. You can do it or not, and I think you probably understand what I'm saying here. But central banks are now the number one buyer of gold. Now, what does that mean? Let's think about it. We've spoken about it before. If we understand that central banks are the number one buyer of gold right now, what are they doing? They're betting against their own system. They have a debt-based system, and they're issuing that debt to the world, as you well know. And you're now seeing the effect of it. Maximum saturation. Even though the system is debt saturated, there's not enough of it. Henceforth, why we're seeing the economy die around the world. Henceforth, why we're seeing inflation rise. And we're seeing central banks pump the system with more of their debt than we've ever seen. But that's good, right? Because we are doing the same thing that they are, buying gold. Does it bother you at all? Does it bother you at all? that central banks are now, as I said, the number one buyer of gold, that they are allowed to issue debt to the world where they can hoard gold. How are they doing that? How are central banks acquiring gold? Well, they're using their product, their own currency, to buy gold. In other words, converting their currency into a real thing. Well, that's what we're doing too. Anyway, so this is, of course, we're nowhere near a ceiling. Here, this is kind of where I got the idea for this video here. CNBC, price of gold is proving an unstoppable force. I love gold. Greg Mannarino loves gold. You all know how much Greg Mannarino loves gold. Silver's where you need to be. Look at today just as an example. This is all going to get real. And again, none of this makes sense. If you understand the goal here, to inflate the system to death, to inflate us to death, Jonathan, thank you. Far worse. Exactly, bro. You remember, I think that was you yesterday, right? Far worse than 29. I mean, this is 29, man. I mean, you could take them all together. It's crazy. But anyway, gold is a real thing. Commodities are a real thing. You know me. I've been telling you about commodities for forever, it seems to me. And this is not going to stop. And the reason why gold, and again, it's not just because the central banks are now the number one buyer of gold, period, around the world. And, we know what central banks are doing, the European Central Bank. Oh, let me just show you something. So as we all know, let's just step back for a moment here so we can laugh a little bit. You and I understand that we have right now, before the ECB started cutting rates again and the Federal Reserve promising they're going to cut rates for the rest of this year, all through next year and everything else here, we already had historically low rates. Currency being decimated and the economy is being destroyed. So just look at this. The case for a quick European Central Bank rate cut mounts as growth weakens. How many people understand that growth is weak? Because the currency is being destroyed. Because the rates are being artificially suppressed. Because, see, that's how stupid they think you are again. They think you're an idiot. My European friends are not idiots. I talk to them all the freaking time. And they laugh. Let me tell you something, man. If you think things are bad here in the United States because it's the illegals destroying our economy here, because Trump said that, it's way worse in other parts of the world, because that must be illegals, must be invading. They must be crossing the border here, the southern border, and then going to Europe, and then going to other parts of the world and destroying the whole economy. Because it's their fault. They need a scapegoat. Trump needs a scapegoat. He got to make you afraid of something and tell you, I'm the guy to fix it. You're being conned. Imagine a con man conning you. Well, that's what's going on. Anyway, here's some good economic news for you. New home construction dips in September. Tech. What have I been telling you? What have I been telling you about tech for I don't know how freaking long people look, man? I am very, very proud and happy to say that you and I have been on the right track, man. And the beauty of this is we never have to change a thing. Nothing. I love that. Don't you? Don't you love that? We've been emulating what the 1% and 2%ers have been doing. Wow, Sean, thank you. We've been, again, what have we been doing since forever? Betting against the debt, becoming our own central banks. And what are central banks doing right now? They're buying gold at a record pace. The number one. This is interesting. I want you to think about this. Not only are central banks the number one buyer of gold in the world today, they're also the number one buyer of debt today. They're financing world governments by monetizing the debt. I want you to think about what I just said. They're monetizing the debt, which is allowing governments to fund themselves. And what else is going on? As debts and deficits continue to balloon, who's making up that gap? Who's making up that difference? Well, of course, it's the Fed. You don't understand. Maybe you do. Central banks' goal is to obviously own it all, to be the lenders and buyers of last resort. I've been telling this for 10 freaking years. This mechanism is allowing central banks to become the most powerful entities on the earth, to become our overlords. That's what they're working towards, a one world system. And to fulfill this, they will do this, what I'm about to tell you. They're going to bring the world economy to its knees, and that means the people as well. We, the people, are being systematically erased. For how long have I been telling you that? And this is an extinction level event, and you wait to see where this is going to go moving forward eventually. People don't know. They have no idea what's going on. It's an incredible thing. Joe Cola, you're absolutely right. Fiat is dead. Fiat is dead. Henceforth, why we're seeing this move, obviously, into cryptocurrency. Henceforth, why you're seeing people wanting to get out of central bank issued notes. Nations, look, let me tell you something else real quick, which you're not supposed to know. The United States has already lost its status as the economic engine of the world. Our credit rating should be zero. Okay. Um, all we have is a debt machine. All the entire system works off the same way. It's all central banks. The flow of debt and the flow of credit is going to stop, and that's what we are looking out for again. With regard to the price action of gold, so people always ask me, and I don't even care, but about the end result. But people say, hey, Greg, what is the price of gold or silver going to be in 6 months? I don't know. I don't even care because we're using this as a hedge. You understand? We're hedged across the board. And I do believe, and I am not, and I understand how many of you freaking despise cryptocurrency here. But look, if Trump is selected, you can only imagine where the crypto space is going to go. He has promised to make the United States the crypto capital of the world. He is going to fulfill that. He's already built a business around it. He's already released his own crypto token. People, listen to the man. He's telling you, if he is selected, I'm just laughing because it's so obvious. Paul, thank you. Paul Ryan. If he's not selected, that doesn't mean it's the end of cryptocurrency. It means the end of fiat currency, which is a dying asset. You all know that. I can't believe that there are still people who believe that the place to be is in cash or in a central bank issued note. Meanwhile, they're being destroyed. I mean, let's just talk about that. If the Fed ever achieves its 2% target, which they're very close apparently to their own numbers, we're nowhere near that. Okay, but that's what they want you to believe because it's the truth. If the central bank says it and it's being pushed down your throat by the propaganda ministry, oh, it must all be true, right? Of course. No one would ever lie to you, right? But there are actually, central bank note bulls out here. Okay, so what's the Fed telling us? If they reach, I want you to think about this. Let's say the Fed reaches its 2% target. Let's say it really happens. The Fed reaches their 2% inflation target. What does it mean, actually? People hear it all the time, but they have no idea what it means. It means that a year from that date, the dollar will lose 2% of its value. A year after that, 2% more. A year after that, 2% more. A year after that, 2% more. Soon it's 10%, it's 20%. Do you see what I'm talking about? Goes in one ear and out the other because people have no idea what it even means. That's how stupid they think we are. And there's a reason why it's 2%. Anyway, who benefits from this? The one and bing, 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 2%ers who are closer to the money. By the time it gets to you, after it makes its way through a dead economy, the currency's already been destroyed. But we, the people at the bottom, the serfs, we have to like it because that's what we're being given and that's what we're being sold because it's the real plan that they want. Because this Kamala wants to sell you that plan and so does Trump and that's the Fed's plan, so it must be the right thing, right? Make it up. Right, Jonathan? Dude, we'll see how that goes. I think before that happens, there's going to be a lot of death, okay? The Federal Reserve will enforce. The enforcement arm, in case you're new here, of the Federal Reserve is the United States military, including its nuclear arsenal. That's a fact. And they will point that weapon at anyone. They'll make up an event. Something will occur where they're the enemy now, and you know why. Then people, they're gonna some massive false flag event, and all of a sudden everyone's got to go on a bandwagon and support more war. That's where we're going anyway. You think we're not in World War III right now? We are in World War III, the early stages of it. And if you think war is going to stop, ain't stopping either, man. That central bank's goal is, again, well, I used to say, you all know this, that war generates the need for more borrowed dollars than any other endeavor on the planet. Not really true anymore. It's scamdemics. Scamdemics. Way, way, way more cash than war. Anyway, look, man, you all know this. I'm preaching to the choir here. I'm really happy to see what I'm seeing here, although I would rather have seen this number higher, but I wrote here, are you planning on adding gold to your investment strategy? You notice I didn't say portfolio here. You hear that word thrown around, your portfolio. No. What we are doing here is a counter strategy against the strategies that have been implemented against us to destroy us all. Gold. silver more specifically, commodities across the board. Yes, cryptocurrencies are our strategy, and of course, getting long the stock market, buying every dip, as long as the MMRI remains in a downtrend, that's our strategy to destroy those who are trying to destroy us. We're flipping those tables, man, and it's too damn easy. Again, look at this month here. 18 days into this month. This was the month. We're going to crash. It's over, right? We have what? 12 days left here. Really going to, you think the market's going to end? You think we're going to get the biggest crash on the face of the earth before the selection? No. You think we're going to get any finger pointing at the Federal Reserve by Trump or Kamala? How about no? It's an incredible thing. It really is an incredible thing. But that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And if the market were to drop, let's just say there's a Black Monday event, you don't think that the Federal Reserve is going to sit there at their trading desk at the New York Fed and buy it all to prop it up? You know they are. You know they are. It is. It's so insane. It's humorous. It really is. It's almost like science fiction. But understanding the mechanism, who our enemies are, and we know who they are. Anyone who's siding with a central bank is our enemy. Any one of them. Okay? Anyone who's not blaming the Federal Reserve for the situation that we're in, and no one's doing it, they're our enemy too. Okay? Because central banks are public enemy number one. The biggest, most disgusting, vomitous puke cartel against the people of this planet in the history of humanity. That's fact. I think we're on the same page here. Anyway, man, look. Is there any other thing that you guys and girls? This is Friday, you know that, right? We're gonna end off with our favorite three things, and but before we go, did we cover everything that you would have expected? Let's just really recap real quick. Tech people, tech. Greg is building his position in JEPQ. I already have my JEPI. I have not well, that's not really true. I added to JEPI again maybe about 3 months ago. But this is the position I'm really building is JEPQ. I want that cash flow. I want that dividend. It also takes advantage of the market. Are you surprised that new home construction is falling? Are you surprised that there's calls for the ECB to cut rates faster as growth weakens because it's really helping? Even negative rates. Remember the ECB went negative, what Trump was calling for? That really helped too. It helped destroy my European friends. Price of gold is an unstoppable force. I think we're on the same page. Gold may not reach a price ceiling anytime soon. Where's the price of gold going to go? You all know where the price of gold is going to go. I'm going to tell you right now again, maybe you're new here. We're going to get, this is going to be beautiful when this happens, okay? Because I was probably the first guy to say this anywhere. Maybe not, but as far as I know, maybe you guys and girls can enlighten me. A 1-to-1. You're going to see a 1-to-1 Dow gold. Where's the bottom of the Dow? I say it's somewhere around 8,000. That's where we're going to go. When the debt market implodes on itself, again, at a moment of their choosing, who's the number one buyer of debt? Who? You know who. Central banks. They're buying all the debt. They're buying all the gold right now. Okay. When they stop doing that, debt market implodes. They're the ones who have the ability to melt down the debt market, and it's going to be blamed on something else. There'll be no blame for the central banks. No president, whoever's in, if it's Trump under his presidency, if he's selected, or Kamala, she will not point their finger at the Fed. Monetary policy, central banks run it, but it won't be blamed. The collapse of the monetary system, the financial system will not be blamed on central banks, although they are the ones responsible for running it. It'll be because of another scandemic. It'll be because of more war or whatever they're going to come up with. No finger pointing at the central banks because their goal is to fulfill their end game, a new system, a tokenized system, for which looks like Trump's getting ready for right now with his digital token that he just released, which he said himself was going to change the face of finance. You think he's sending you out a code? A lot of you think he speaks like Jesus Christ in parables. You let me know. And then this. Equity funds, big inflows. Why? The promise of easy money. Do you see what's happening here, man? I hope you guys and girls are getting it. I really do. People, you know what I'm going to do this weekend? I'm going to clean my desk, finally. JEPQ to 5. PQ, I have no idea, bro. We'll see. Puke money. I love that. It is puke money, man. It's not even real. Do you realize there's so many factors to this, man? You go out every day, Jonathan. Thank you. Yes, I agree with you on that, bro. Silver is the best to hold. Period. The freaking end. You and I, people, every day you get up, you work for the privilege. I want you to think about it. The privilege to borrow into existence Federal Reserve notes. They got us by the throat. We've never really been paid. You've been paid in debt notes. You haven't been paid in constitutional money. Yes, that's the USS Constitution back there. You've been paid in debt notes. Why do we even pay taxes on these debt notes that we receive? The system is so upside down and twisted, and it has people convinced that it's real. It's not real. These digits on the screen, they're not on the elemental chart, people. I've been telling you this for 10,000 years. Yes, indeed, Bruce. Look at this comment here. You see what Bruce just wrote here? Bruce Gustafson. Commodity supercycle is incoming. This man speaks the truth because we are going to see, again, debt market meltdown, stock markets crash on the back of that. Stock markets have become nothing but a derivative now. The entire equity markets right now are nothing but a derivative. What is a derivative? A derivative is an asset or even an asset class or even an entire market that is deriving value from something else. Artificially suppressed rates, weaker currency, obviously has an effect on the stock market. It derives value from it. Everything does at this particular time. And that's why central banks are in here buying it all. Do you see? Is it becoming clear to you now? I hope so. But Bruce is actually completely on target. That's what we're going to see. Beardarino. That's awesome. I was just on the Kate Daly show just prior to this. I don't know how many of you caught that. If you didn't, you should check it out. We talked about it, a couple of things. We were talking about the beard. Anyway. Gularino? Okay. I've been called worse. Wolfman Jack. Anyway, guys and girls, we're on target. We're not going to change a damn thing. We're gonna raise our awareness. We're gonna keep our eyes open. And I want more lions here, man. Let's get some more real lions. It looks like we got out all the fake wannabe lions. That was a beautiful thing. They've all been replaced by real lions. We welcome them. Anyway, before we do our favorite 3 things that we're going to do in about a minute here, is there anything else you guys? Thank you, Jeff. Anything? Thank you, Cheryl Ann. I appreciate that too. Anything you guys and girls want to talk about before we depart for a day? All right. I will be writing something tomorrow. You'll find tomorrow I'm going to write a paper as I usually do for all of you, and you get it first. It'll be published in the Trends Journal and probably a few other publications as well. If you subscribe to my newsletter, 100% free, link in the description of this video, you'll get it first. I think you're going to enjoy I already know what I'm going to put down. I can't turn my brain off, man. I wish I could. Anyway, what's the best way to buy gold? Man, look, Doc, there's a lot of ways to do this, man. I've been using, I don't want to promote anybody, because then we're going to say, oh, first of all, I don't get any kickbacks. As you know, I've had offers from many companies that want to make a bet against the debt coin, a Greg Mannarino coin. I've turned them all down. They even offered me a percentage of the sales. I've turned it all down. I mean, we're talking about probably exorbitant amounts of money that I could have earned off of that. I don't feel it's my position to promote silver or gold in that manner. I don't want anything from it. I don't want people to say, well, Greg is biased. Greg is selling this silver coin. He's making a profit. Greg is pictures on this gold coin and he's making. I don't want to be a part of that. I've turned every single offer down. I will continue to turn those offers down. Although it would make a nice coin, right? Bet against the debt, become your own central bank, whatever. Just not for me, man. I don't think it's my place to do that. But I have bought for years from APMEX, American Precious Metals Exchange. I've never once, not one time, had an issue with APMEX. And I'm not saying they're the only one out here, man. They do give you perks. If you buy enough or you buy a lot of this stuff, you get stuff at a really good price. They kind of as a reward. But although other companies might do the same thing. So, you can also go to your local place if you have a place that you trust. I bought a lot of gold and silver from a place when I was living out in Las Vegas. I used to know the guy personally. He would call me, "Hey, Greg, listen, I got some gold or silver. You want it?" And I used to go in there. Sure, hold it for me. I used to go in. Um, there's a lot of places where you can buy this stuff from. But always do your own research. There's a recommendation to your bestie billion. I don't know them, all right? But always do your own research. Call the companies. Look, if you're leery about dealing with any of these people, call them on the phone. What kind of a vibe do you get? Jonathan, thanks again. Mining stocks, bro, I don't own anything. Don't own a single mining stock. I'm really not the guy to talk about on it. I would rather own the asset than the miners that are producing. That's just my take on it here. So like I was saying here, look, man, when you're going to do business with anybody, even if you're buying a new car or whatever it might be, I don't care what it is, all right? And you're making a big investment in something, cool. Get somebody on the phone. And what kind of a vibe do you get? Use your God-given intellect. Is it working? You're getting a bad vibe. People know, when things aren't right. We feel it. Right, Lorenzo? Thank you. Need to reinvest in YouTube channel with ads. You need to reinvest in YouTube channel. Thanks for your help. Are you putting ads there? Anyway, Greg, it just says, I prefer JEPQ. All right, there's a question here about QLYD. I like the structure of it. I do. I've done a lot of research. But again, look, man, always do your own research on these things. I'm not telling people to buy or sell anything. All right. I've gotten in a lot of trouble already. I used to post my own stock picks. Remember that? I had to stop doing that because twice, I got investigated by the SEC because people were reporting me saying Greg is front running the market. I mean, can you believe that? So I don't do it anymore. What can I tell you? Anthony Dibb. Okay. That sounds like a personal problem, bro. All right. Look, man. Gold is coin of the realm. That's a fact. Silver is still my favorite asset. Look, man, we're going to get a 1-to-1 Dow gold. Dow 8,000, gold 8,000, possibly even a 10-to-1 gold, silver, probably more like a 15-to-1. Think about what that means, okay? Could I be wrong on this? Absolutely I could. But I can't see another way that this is going to play out. Jana, thank you. Clemente, thank you too. All right, I think we're kind of on the same page with all this, people. Look, again, whatever I say, think about it, and obviously, make up your own mind. Everyone is different. Your situation is different. I get that. So what's right for you may not be right for the next guy, the next girl over there. But what I do is I'm throwing out concepts for all of you. And look, man, we've been really, really, really far ahead of the curve on this. And I intend to be there. I intend to get even farther. The farther I can get us all ahead of the curve, the better off we're all going to be. And that's my singular goal. What I always tell you, I'll never let you down. I want you to have actionable information. When everyone's, look, man, all these people that were calling for a market crash, maybe they really believed it because this October phobia is a real thing. And I don't blame people for having October phobia. It's not over yet. But I can't imagine that the Fed's going to allow the illusion of the market to disappear before November 5th. I just don't see it. Is it possible that I'm wrong? Sure it is. But again, we're hedged anyway. And we have the MMRI, which is going to tell us when the debt market is selling off. I can't tell you what a gift this is. All right. I made it for myself, but I released it to all of you. And it's right there on my website. Link in the description of the video. Pay attention to this stuff because it's a key. The debt market is the key. Period. I don't know what else to say. Anyway, the straight and narrow path. Absolutely, man. It's the best way to get to a particular place is a straight line, right? Generally, unless you like the scenic route. All right, guys, look, we're going to kind of get out of here. And I want all of you to take this week, as we always do, put it behind us. All right. We got a new week coming up here. I will see you on Sunday for my markets to look ahead. I think it's going to be kind of interesting as always here. Again, working as hard as I can to keep all of you ahead of the curve on this. This is a beautiful thing that we've created here, this family around the world, honestly. Anyway, that's going to be all for now. Yes, I know, Silver. What is JEPQ? JEPQ, just Google it. All right. Love all of you, and I mean that. So, you ready? Bring it in. No one's looking, and even if they are, tell them to join you. All right, because this is something that's just bigger than all of us. You ready? Love each other, care about each other, be charitable to each other. People, again, until we meet again Sunday, my markets to look ahead. Take care of yourselves, and as always, take care of each other. Okay, I'm out of here.